Hello, hello, hello. Testing? Okay, alright, we're good. We're good. Alright. Alright. Oh man, okay. Let me catch up on the supers. Alright? Starting with Haven. Alright, Haven said, seem to be... Okay, first of all, let's get the stream likes up. Let's get the stream likes up to 50 real quick. Okay? Haven, thanks for the 10. Seems to be an emotion thing that allows rocks to be dommied. Hoping for a parallel with Thriller Bark with Usopp being a natural counter. No better time to be a brave warrior than God Usopp versus God. I think Usopp is set to be a counter to killing him. I think that's a matchup that's set up because killing him brings out fears that people imagine. Usopp's scared of everything, so there's nothing that killing him could really do with that. I don't think that emotion is a prerequisite for Dami Reversi. It didn't really seem like that's the case. One Piece One Life says, Yo, Morge, crazy ass was contentious chapter. I don't hate Imu's overpoweredness, but I do want to see what the limit is because this is getting out of hand. I mean, it does seem like you have to actually damage the person in some way before you can Dami Reversi them. But Imu should be, that powerful as like potentially the final boss. Eric Torlato, thanks for the 2. I'm upset. Next week might save it. Roger, please. I think that we will see... I do think that we're going to get Roger's time to shine, dude. Like, we're just in the middle of it. You wouldn't want Imu to be defeated right away, right? Nerf MV Maker, thanks for the 10. I think in the future, Luffy will be Dami Reversied, and his crew will have to step up and show their worth. The strong members will hold him off, while the weak members find a way to reverse the effect. I would love to see Luffy versus his crew, with Luffy being Dami Reversied, and I agree that would be really cool Thriller Bark parallels. I don't know how they're going to be able to do it outside of like Loki helping them maybe. And seeing an evil version of the Nika fruit in play would be really cool. I just don't know if Oda would ever treat Luffy like that, like having him be Dami Reversied. And taking away his freedom. SM, thanks for the 5. I wonder what the promise was that was talked about this chapter. Zunisha crying, Joyboy's apology, and now this. I need the Void Sentry flashback. Yeah, I keep thinking that this is the most important flashback in the what the fuck? Bad mic? Okay, hold on. I can fix the mic. Give me a second. Let me try. Hold on. Testing. All right. Okay. Hello. Testing. We might have... Nope, is it working? No. We might have to roll with this mic, unfortunately. We'll try one more time. Okay. Hold on. Okay. Need this. Hello. Testing 1, 3. We might have to do the bad mic. I think it reset after after the stream restarted. So I'm sorry about that, guys. We're gonna have to work with the bad mic. Is it definitely the bad mic? Hold on. Testing. Yeah, it's the bad mic that's working right now. Alright, we're gonna have to roll with this, though. Okay. Continuing on. Yeah, the Void Sentry flashback is probably going to be the only flashback left in the story that could top this one, because then we see Prime Joy Boy, I guess Prime Davy Jones, all that shit. Maybe First World flashback, who knows? JP, thanks for the 20. My thoughts are maybe strong characters need their blood spilled for Emu to form a contract for Dami Reversi. Dorian Brogy got stabbed and shot, and Rocks got skewered before his hands. Still an easy win condition for Emu. Yeah, it does seem like Emu does actually need to, like, what do you call? Does actually need to like, make contact with you in some way in order to deal damage, right? Or not, in order to use his abilities, right? It does seem like Emu does actually have to work for it a little bit. He can't just wave his hand and then, like, Roger's now under his control. So it is an easy win condition, but at the same time, like, this might be a hot take. This might be a hot take, but I don't think, in terms of combat, I don't think Emu did anything this chapter that was impressive, right? Like, in terms of combat, I feel like, what did Emu, like, if you take, I know that if you take, regeneration is obviously a big part of it, right? But it doesn't seem like Emu was really able to box with Rocks before any of this progressed any further, right? Like, Emu started fighting Rocks. Rocks was doing fine. Rocks then went on to dice him up too. Well, Emu didn't do anything, like, fighting-wise that's that impressive, right? It's really the regeneration, and if Emu manages to land anything on you, then he can take you over. But that's the only thing, like, that's the only thing that he's really got. People are saying, talk about the 10 minutes. There's nothing to talk about. It was just, I was trying to catch up on people's chats from the previous stream, but I should have checked if the audio was working. If I reset the stream, the problem is that it doesn't seem to be a stream issue now. What happened is my laptop reset. So my laptop reset, and now it's not registering the mic. So for that, I need to actually take some time to troubleshoot it in Streamlabs. If I did that, I'd have to take like a 20-minute break before coming back to stream. I'm just going to keep rolling with the stream because people are already in at this point. Those 10 minutes never existed. I don't know what to say about the 10 minutes. It's just like, all right, it was on mute. I don't know what else to say. Yeah, I don't think Emu's that strong, fighting-wise, from what we've seen. I think we gotta wait and see, but I don't think Emu's that strong. If you take away the regeneration, and obviously regeneration is part of his powers, but it's like, thanks to the immortality surgery, I don't think Emu himself is necessarily been shown to be that strong of a fighter. You know? Backbender, thanks for the 1. Marco Saint, thanks a lot. Garp punched the Celestial Dragon, and I'm not going to shut up about it. Where's y'all in the chat who are clowning on me for predicting that? Yeah, I think that the Garp and Marco Saint continues saying that, nah, this chapter hasn't killed the anti-Garp agenda. People still be arguing that he's an evil bootlicking Marine for staying in the Marines post-God Valley, and I agree they're all idiots with zero reading comprehension. Look, one, don't shut up about it with the Garp situation. Don't shut up about it because it's just like, Aether says sorry would be something, LMAO. I am sorry. I am sorry. I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry about the 10 minutes, but like, I'm also I'm trying to catch up on everything that you guys have messaged. Like, I'm trying to cover all of the supers from before. I'm trying to catch up on everything, right? So like, I don't want to go into like, I'm sorry the stream was muted. Now I'm even further behind. I'm trying to catch up. That's all I gotta say. The anti-Garp agenda, I do feel like people should make a big deal out of that, though. Because, like, I feel like it's been a very loud faction, and the anti-Garp agenda, it's not just about being anti-Garp. I feel like the problem with the whole anti-Garp agenda is that it was like a sustained effort by a lot of people to diminish what Oda's trying to do with the story of One Piece. Because Oda's whole thing is he's trying to paint a much more complex world, like a more morally complex world, like some more, like, genuinely morally nuanced messaging. He shows us bad pirates and good pirates. He shows us bad Marines and good Marines, right? There's a purpose to him including characters like Garp, like Kobe, like Smoker, right? There's a purpose to that. The same way that there's a purpose to showing that there's good pirates and not just, like, you know, Kaidos and Don Kriegs and Captain Kuros and everything. Like, there's a purpose to what he's doing. He's trying to create a more nuanced story and include some more nuanced messaging. The entire agenda to like denounce Garp and defame Garp and be like Garp is a piece of shit, it literally is like trying to shit on the ideas of One Piece that Oda is pushing. It's trying to take a very complex story and turn it into something that's very black and white, which to me, that's always been one of my bigger issues with the anti-Garp agenda, because it's not just like trying to go after a certain character, it's trying to take the depth of what One Piece is trying to communicate and simplify it into something very, very stupid. And I feel like it's not, I feel like all the attempts to like attack Garp, attack Kobe, attack Smoker, etc., it's not based on engaging with the ideas that Oda's presenting, right? It's instead taking your own views and just shoving it onto the story, which is like not like honest engagement with the work, you know? All right, continuing on. JP, thanks for the 20. Gabon stops Sommer's regen. Rocks can stop Garlings, but not Emu. So it's not only a certain tier technique of Conqueror's Haki, but also has to be greater level relative to the opponent. Is Emu coding himself in advanced Conqueror's Haki, but defensively? Wait, let me read that again. Oh, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it's because Emu is able to like use Conqueror's Haki to kind of counter other characters' Conqueror's Haki, or if it's just that like Emu being the source of everybody's regeneration, like God's Knights, Gorosei, they have a lesser version of Emu's regeneration, and then that means that Emu as the source of it all is just like an even greater level of regeneration that takes an even higher level of Conqueror's Haki to counter. I do think that it can be countered with Conqueror's Haki, though, just because that's just the way the entire story works, you know? Joy Boy's Haki seems to be implied to be able to at least be effective against Emu, based on his reactions. Let's get Streamlabs up to 100 real quick. Let's get Streamlabs up, because we're rolling again. Basim El Madawi, thanks for the 10. Hey, everyone, how does Blackbeard describe his powers? Darkness has the ability to consume everything and crush it. That's why he felt he needs that Devil Fruit. Also, what if Garp's heart was taken via Ope Ope no Mi? Darkness has the ability to consume everything and crush it. Yeah. I think that he knows that he needs that fruit to counter Emu. Also, what if Garp's heart was taken via Ope Ope no Mi? What do you mean? What? Garp's heart? How would Garp's heart be? Am I missing something? What if Garp's heart was taken via Ope Ope no Mi? You're saying like after this this battle, Garp loses his heart or something like that? I don't know. I don't think anything has changed. I think Garp's the same old Garp he's always been. Hassan, thanks for the 2. Morge, the streets need a swordsmanship versus Haki video. Oh my god. Look, I'm still on this. I'm in the exact same place I was before, which is like, I'm just gonna wait out till the rest of this God Valley fight. If the God Valley fight concludes, right, we're still in the middle of it, but if it concludes and everyone in the highest level fight in One Piece history was just using their swords and coding with Haki and attacking Emu like that, then I'm just gonna assume that Mihawk is stronger than Shanks. Like that's it. If another application of Conqueror's Haki, like a Joy Boy Haki Knot or something, like a Joy Boy Haki type release or something, is not used by Roger or somebody, then I'm on the train of like, okay, it's just most of these characters, Rocks, Roger, whoever, Big Mom, they coat their swords with Haki. That's how they fight. I don't think there's anything to suggest at the moment that Shanks would be doing something different, right? We did get the Shanks Joy Boy Haki Knot comparison, but I think the Shanks Roger parallel is even more concrete than that. So if we see Roger fight and he's not doing anything like that, then I'm in the train of like Mihawk greater than Shanks. If we see something otherwise, like if we see Roger do something similar to what Joy Boy did, then I'm back on the Shanks train, right? So I'm just gonna let the God Valley fight play out, and then we go from there. Joseph eBay, thanks for the 5. Yo, Morge, first off, congrats on the Captain John theory. Which characters in One Piece would you be friends with in real life? Mine are Usopp and Aokiji, and Shay sucks. Yeah, I saw the Shay free throw thing. I'm never going to watch a Thunder game this season, unless it's against a team I really like, but I'm never going to watch a Thunder game. Congrats on the Captain John theory. I don't think this proves the Captain John theory right, but I would love to see him get away with something and it'd be like a really important Devil Fruit. We still don't know the full roster of Devil Fruits assembled here. We know that there's some important ones. Which character in One Piece would I be friends with in real life? It's hard to say, because it's just like, One Piece characters are not written very realistically. They're all very big and loud personalities. I think friends, what's a more grounded, down-to-earth character that, I could get along with? I guess, Mihawk is kind of standoffish. I don't think he'd want to be friends. Maybe Shanks seems like easy to get along with person that's not, super wacky or something like that. Usopp would be fun to be friends with. I think Usopp would be fun to be friends with. Usopp's funny, he'd be fun to be friends with. Yeah, I think Usopp's a good option. Urgert, thanks to the 2. Roger Haki being stronger than Joy Boy ain't crazy. I don't think it'll be strong. I think Joy Boy showed us probably the peak of what Haki can be. But then, right after that, Oda drew the comparison, and it's like, well, we don't know. Is that as strong as Shanks is? Stronger than Shanks is or whatever? So, I feel like there's other characters that can be in the same tier of Haki, potentially, right? So, Roger, that doesn't mean Roger's as strong as Joy Boy overall, because Joy Boy had the Nika fruit. But if Roger has a Haki bloom here, I personally have believed for a long time he will. I think the story's been leading towards Roger having his final, most important Haki bloom and reaching his peak at God Valley. I don't see any reason why that can't be comparable to Joy Boy. Sorry, give me a second here. All right. Hold on. Oh, I missed some. Hold on, I missed some again. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Fading Phase. Thanks for the 2. He said you're muted. Balsamel Wadawi said, okay, but say that again with the sound on. This is more Future Visa says, this is more shit than Lost Chances at Big Pirate King. Aether says, love you, man, but you gotta read chat a little bit more. I did jump right into, to understand what happened from my end, right? So this is something that's never happened during a stream before. Usually what happens during streams is the internet cuts. If something goes wrong, the internet cuts. This was my PC just restarting. It literally just said, your device needs to restart. The whole thing restarted, okay? So, because of that, I was just like, as soon as starting again, I'm like, I gotta go, right? Because, just want to get the stream back up and running. And the big thing is that I knew that I had a lot of supers that I hadn't responded to. I want to respond to everyone's supers. So I open stream, and everything's a little bit delayed. So I open stream, the first thing I'm seeing in chat is people saying it's back or whatever, right? I'm like, okay, stream's good. Then the next thing I did is just go straight over to the supers tab so that I can pull up all the supers from last stream, because I felt bad. I was just like, I don't want, I know that there's a lot of supers that I didn't get to. I felt bad. I wanted to run through those and then get back to what people are currently saying in chat. So I was tunnel visioned. I am sorry about that. But I promise it came from a place of basically just me being bad at multitasking. And then 2, me genuinely, I felt bad that a lot of people had their questions that they donated for from previous stream unanswered. I saw the stream was working. Comments about the stream being muted or whatever, that obviously came through a little bit delayed because everything in stream comes in a little bit delayed. The first comments were just streams up and running, all good, so I moved over. Hope that's understandable. But yeah, I don't know what else, who you want me to say from that. Basamel Madawi says, this is what Luffy's going through with Loki right now. Shaker says, 10 minutes not looking at your chat is crazy. I was looking at chat. I was just looking at the donated messages from the previous chat. Grizzly Adams, thanks for the 5. Guys, I could read lips. Borge is actually promising us the Bollywood dance. I feel like you guys were adequately entertained for that 10 minutes based on the responses that I'm seeing here. Haven says, sorry for starting the Great Mutant Morge era. I didn't mean to be like Roger LMAO. I guess this was the Void Century. Starbright, thanks for the 5. I closed the stream, then YouTube, thinking I was bugging out. Turns out you're just legit. Oh my god. The Hidden Island, thanks for the 5. I don't know what he said, but he's spitting. Shaq, thanks. Thanks for coming through, Hidden Island. Shacker, thanks for the 5. Asking to get the likes up after revealing he ignores us between 20-minute intervals. I swear it's not normally like that. I swear I'm normally doing a little bit of a looking at both, but here, the stream closed early. I had a lot of supers I needed to respond to from the initial stream. So I opened up chat, and then I immediately opened up another page to just has the supers. That's all. That's all that happened. It's not normally like this. I am still on the supers page because I've got a lot to get through, but it's not like I'm actively trying to ignore you guys. The Loman, thanks for the 5. I wonder how the Strahd stand a chance against Emu right now, considering how Emu cooked rocks. Also, current 3 Admirals would have smoked everyone at God Valley. Current 3... What? You realize that what we're seeing is like a whole page of, what do you call? You guys this is just the most mind-blowing thing, which is like, what you're seeing is basically like 5 advanced Conqueror's Haki users, right? 5 characters using advanced Conqueror's Haki on Emu. And, well, actually, the Loman, I know the Loman just likes to troll me, so I don't know what to say. But, like, it's like 5 characters with advanced Conqueror's Haki here at God Valley. And then it's like, the Admirals. It's like, the Admirals. Characters who have literally no Conqueror's Haki, period. Maybe Akaino's developed it. I hope Akaino's developed it. But it's just like, the Admirals are so far out of their depth here, it's ridiculous. It's like, what, like, Emu's gonna shoot, or sorry, like, Aokiji's gonna shoot little, like, icicles. I'm sure his ice spears would be really effective against Emu. Nyx Queen, thanks a lot. Since you're muted, I'll say it. What a chapter. Yeah, this was a really good chapter. Eric Geraldo says, Garp is cool, but this makes no sense, lol. I mean, we just gotta wait and see. Stride Shock, thanks for the 2. Those 10 minutes almost as heinous as when you banned Oof. Hey, Oof deserved it. I apologize for this. I don't apologize for Oof. Marco Saint, thanks a lot. You're 100% correct. The anti-Garp agenda is not just about Garp. It was also anti-Roger and against the story Oda's trying to tell us. It's our pirate folk agenda blending into the mainstream. It's basically just like wanting to hate on the story without trying to engage with what the story's trying to communicate. Nerve AMV Maker, thanks for the 5. I'm going to be disappointed if Rayleigh and Gaban do nothing to distinguish themselves here. Seems like Oda has them below the future Yonko here. If Rayleigh and Gaban don't do anything here, it would be sad. It would be sad. But let's wait and see. And in Mike Torpedo, you guys know for a long period of time, I've argued Rayleigh Gaban, at least Rayleigh, above, like, Kaido Big Mom. Or at least equal to, right? You guys know that for a long time. But, as I always say, I am always willing to change my power scaling rankings with new information, right? I've always felt that the biggest problem with the community is that people dig themselves a little trench where they think their characters are supposed to be, and then they hunker down and stay in that trench. And that's why people's power scaling opinions are such shit. And that's why a lot of people critique my power scaling opinions, because I just change them over time based on new information. And people are fucking mind blown by that. Because they're not willing to change their stuff, and they're stuck with like some rigid ass hierarchy that makes no sense the further you go in the series, right? Nobody has everything correct power scaling wise from the beginning. You can't. It's not like every character from the moment of their introduction, everybody's ranking them exactly correctly, right? So you need to be willing to change with new information, right? People are biased towards their favorite characters. That's why you see Sabo so high on a lot of rankings. That's why you see Law so high in so many rankings, right? I like Rayleigh a lot. I get it. If Rayleigh doesn't show jack shit here at God Valley, I don't think I any longer have that much ground to put him, like I have been putting him, above Kaido Big Mom. Even though I like Rayleigh better than Kaido and Big Mom. I love Rayleigh a lot as a character, in fact. But if this is it for Rayleigh and Gaban, if they're just peacing out while Roger does his thing, I'm changing the ranking for myself. I'm moving them down, alright? Anyway, continuing on. Urgert, thanks for the 2. Roger Haki being strong. Oh no, we covered this. Alright. Urgert, thanks for the 2. What's next for Dragon now after Shanks being gone? I don't know what's next for Dragon. I mean, maybe Dragon eats his fruit here. That's entirely possible. Maybe Dragon eats his fruit. But beyond that, I feel like God Valley might just be like a point of defeat, point of failure for Dragon, that he has to pick himself, like he has to remake himself as a person after this, you know? think that's just what has to happen next. Let's get the stream lights up to 100 real quick. Let's get stream lights up to 100. Henchme976, thanks for the 2. Loki got shafted midway through this flashback. I don't think he got shafted. I think the whole flashback is going to lead back to Loki. Although rocks might be the main thing that we remember from it, right? Because we're going to get Harold's death, but I don't think many of us give a shit about Harold right now. So Oda's got some character work to do there. Like, there's still so many things that need to happen in this flashback. I think we're living in the moment a little bit too much. Antoine, thanks for the 5. Hey, Morch, have you seen Dax Sake's video about Sanji? He says that the Germa exoskeleton could be cloaking Sanji's Haki, making him semi-invisible. Yeah, maybe. I don't think that's what it is. Maybe. That sounds like cope to me. That's just what it sounds like to me. But anything's possible. Carnage, thanks for the 10. I think what is up with Blackbeard is a result of something Rox will do before the end of God Valley. Don't think that he was born like that. Promises are meant to be kept. Rox will want Davy's will to continue. I mean, I don't think Blackbeard was born like that, but... Oh, you're saying the strange thing. Maybe that's interesting. That's interesting. So maybe Rox's soul does get put into Blackbeard somehow or something? I guess we need to see. Grizzly Adams, thanks for the 5, man. We need a tier list for greatest Mort stream moments. Oof, post-Wano crash outs, Zoro Fedora. Zoro Fedora. Homeless Arc explanation, just today. We could go back through some stream moments. We could go back through. There are a lot of classic ones, I suppose. It feels weird reviewing my own streams to be like, what are the best moments from that? Shakir, thanks for the 5. I think Dragon thinking he failed both Shanks and Shamrock probably informs his current day motivations. Yeah, I think just the sense that, I talked about this in my chapter review, but Dragon probably comes away from this whole thing feeling like he completely and utterly failed. Like he did nothing right here. He was on the wrong side from the beginning, which is the Marine side, and he realized that he was on the side that's harming all the civilians, right? And then when he tried to redeem himself by trying to save those 2 babies, he wasn't able to do that either. That's what he's going to be thinking. So I think that is going to be a huge driver for Dragon to want to just fix everything, right? Fix everything, never let stuff like this happen again. I think that's a good choice. Zoro Fedora was him naming himself King of Hell. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Forgot about that. Forgot about that shit. Haven, thanks for the 5. Crazy to think Blackbeard might also be getting this flashback from Garp/Pudding. Would be interesting to see how he reacts. Love the streams. Yeah. Shit, I wonder if Garp can tell him some shit, or Pudding pulls that shit out. Out of his brain. That would be cool. That'd be really cool. Yeah, that would be really, really cool. Interesting. Because I wonder if that changes Blackbeard's motivations in any way. Probably not, though. Also, let's get the stream lights up to 150 real quick. Muglatan, thanks for the 5. I'm not going to lie. I think we solved the Blackbeard things years ago with the Kraken Fruit theory. Like, it's just perfect. I'm sorry. I don't think it's perfect now. I thought it was perfect at the time. But now I think the Kraken seems kind of random to me. Maybe not. Maybe not. The reason the Kraken feels random to me is also just like the Kraken has no sort of special significance outside of like it doesn't give him any special powers, you know, because we kind of need whatever Zoan Blackbeard has or might get. It needs to be pretty fucking good, because at this point we're dealing with fucking, you know, Nika the Sun God. We just saw the Dragon mythical Zoan. Like, Zoan fruits are getting really fucking good. A big octopus is kind of just like, I don't even know. Like, that's just not a meaningful Zoan for Blackbeard to have, I feel, but maybe it's the answer. JP, thanks for the 5. You should let the guy who did Morge Unleashed make shorts for this channel. So many goofy stream highlights. Man, that could be good. Man, more the thing is with Morge Unleashed, it was actually like three guys who were doing it together, but I forget. We just had to stop just because time wise. You know what it was? Time wise, they would sometimes be short on time, and then on top of that, for me and the editor of my channel, like there was still time that went into Morge Unleashed that we didn't really have because we'd have to make thumbnails, we'd have to do certain things, so it was just a time sink for everybody. So I think that we ultimately had to slow it down. Red and Silver 741, thanks for the 10. The lore has been amazing, and Oda never shows a full fight in a flashback. It's clear 100 rocks couldn't hurt Emu. You need to nullify his ability first, hence the darkness and Nika fruit being vital. I mean, I think it's just Haki is the thing. It's just Haki. I talked about this at the beginning of the stream, meaning the beginning of last stream, but you just need a stronger application of Haki. I do think that the Darkness Fruit will be a way to damage Emu, but I also think we will see that Haki can counter it as well. Muhammad Kakurs is 3 hearts, and Davy Jones from the Pirates of the Caribbean looks like an octopus. Yeah, but I think that Oda probably had his plans for Blackbeard plotted out a lot earlier than Pirates of the Caribbean movies came out, you know? Like, because he already had in mind, like, when did Pirates of the Caribbean 2 come out? Pirates of the Caribbean 2 release date. (2006). That's like pretty deep in the story, you know? That's like pretty deep. I missed Name's membership message. Anybody whose membership message I missed, please let me know, because I was struggling to find. I from a previous stream, I can't read membership messages. I can't find it easily. The Hidden Island says, wait until we learn Blackbeard has been Dami Reversi this whole time. Luffy's gonna accidentally kill him, but then it's a fake out death, and now he has amnesia, and it's a good guy again, and he's a Haki man. Oh man, Blackbeard turns out to be a Haki man. What was Name's message? Does anybody have it? Named if you're in chat, please let me know. Any member who yeah, I'll just try and catch you guys' messages, you know? Declan Murphy, thanks for the 5. Prediction: Roger Freeze rocks with Haki Bloom just before Eris dies, only for Garling to get a cheap shot killing her. I do think Garling is going to come back into play somehow here. I just don't know exactly how. I do think Garling is going to come into play. Antoine, what's your message? Tempo, what's your message? I do have a theory on Roger's Haki Bloom that's coming out next chapter, or next week. Chris Morales says, I missed your super? Shit. Wait, are you sure? Hold on. Chris, I don't think I missed your super. Because supers I can see. I just have to open it up in a different page. Which, again, is why I was silent for so long. Because I was on that other page. Antoine said, I was trolling and said Usopp gets Conqueror's Haki. I mean, I think Usopp could get Conqueror's Haki. I don't think that's the craziest thing. Fully Cooley says, Rayleigh is low-key the biggest fraud on God Valley right now. Yeah, because in the grand scheme of things, no one's going to give a shit that he saved Shaggy. It's just like, there's some bigger shit going on, man. Here's the interesting thing. I think that Rayleigh could make his return to the scene. Because, as far as I know, we have not yet seen Gloriosa. I think that Rayleigh is going to run into Gloriosa, hand off Shaggy to Gloriosa, and then we can maybe go from there. I like to think that that might be what happens. Rayleigh runs into Gloriosa, Rayleigh hands off Shaggy to Gloriosa, Rayleigh goes back to help his captain, because Rayleigh should be able to sense that there's some big shit going on, right? Nylan says, yeah, me, Oda, and Sandman hashed out the ending together. You guys will love it. Carnage, thanks for the 5, man. Roger and Garp seem much more like rivals than Roger and Rocks. Even in this chapter, they were bickering about who did more damage. Because I think Roger and Garp, are I think it's become a little bit more clear that Roger and Garp are the true contemporaries, right? Because Rox is like a little bit older. He's like a little bit. He's kind of Roger Senior, right? And then Whitebeard, who was obviously one of Roger's major rivals, the only pirate that tied with him or whatever. Whitebeard was a little bit Roger's junior, right? So it feels like Roger and Garp were the two that really like went back and forth, probably about equal in strength, going back and forth for a long period of time. Whitebeard, like Rox, was just probably a bigger deal than Roger in general for years, right? Up until God Valley. I think God Valley might be where Roger, I like to believe Roger will get a Haki Bloom step up and it'll be sort of a past changing of the guard, right? And then Whitebeard was just for years, he was Rox's subordinate, right? Roger's not going to be beefing with the subordinate of some other guy, right? And then even after God Valley, as we know, the Whitebeard pirates, that in itself takes years and years to develop and form, right? So whereas the Roger pirates, they're all good right now. Like they're stacked right now, right? They've got their crew together. So it kind of makes sense that Roger's main enemy was, or not enemy, but the guy that he would have regular bouts with was Garp. It just lines up age-wise, their status-wise, yada yada. Urger, thanks for the 2. Whoever killed Eris will be killed by Blackbeard in modern day. Oh shit. Let me do a little poll for you guys. Who do you guys think kills who kills Eris? Dami, River, Seed, Rox, Emu, Garling. And Nowlan says, honestly sad that Rox doesn't have a fruit. Kaido's speech about Haki makes less sense if Rox was a Haki man and failed. Hidden Island, because we're not at the end of the flashback. I think that what we are about to see is, I still think we are yet to see, I think there's more to come, basically. I think there's more to come. Actually, next Tuesday's video touches on that subject. I think there's more to come. I think that what we're really looking out for here, in my opinion, is going to be a Haki Bloom from Roger than anything else. Especially because Kaido's statement about Haki was in reference to Roger. If Kaido thinks that Haki trumps everything, and he's already seen Haki attacks fail against Emu, but Kaido still thinks Haki trumps everything, and he uses Roger as the example, that strongly leads me to believe that we have not yet seen the full extent of Roger's capabilities. I think Roger right now probably can't do any better, but I think he's going to get a Haki Bloom here. Because, again, Kaido's confident Haki is the #1 power out there, right? And he's seen Emu's shit, but he still thinks Haki trumps it. He's like, Haki #1. So, and Roger's proof of that. So I think that whatever needs to be shown with Haki or demonstrated with Haki is yet to be shown. Seems like people are pretty split, but a lot of people are leaning towards Garling. Lil Emu, thanks to the 5. Did you hear the Rat King theory? It implies that Emu is an amalgamation of souls, not just one person. Reminds me of Blackbeard being referred to as they. No, I've never heard that, but that's an interesting idea. That's a really interesting idea. I don't know if I like that or not, but it might be why Emu refers to themselves in third person all the time. That could fit. Muglatan says, I mean, Kaido is the villain. His perspective is supposed to be flawed. I mean, that would make sense if it's his perspectives on like morality and stuff, but that's not what we're discussing here, you know? Like in this context, Kaido's just a dude who has seen all the strongest characters in existence fight together, and he's absolutely confident that Haki is the most important thing. So we have yet to see what leads him to that belief, you know? Anime Dimension says, Morge missed my member message. Can you just type it again? Anybody whose member message I missed, I'm sincerely sorry about that. Please just type it again here. JP Supernova membership 31 months. Wano analysis script leak. What? Anime Dimension says Morge missed my member message. Yeah, just if I missed your member message, please just type it again. Name named member for 37 months. Pirate King. 10 minutes of mute. Got to be a couple late points, right? No, those are two separate things. Those are two separate things. What we'll do instead is run stream 10 minutes longer than initially planned. Usually I do Friday streams for 2 hours. We'll keep running stream longer than that. Carnage, thanks for the 2. Weird Kaido and Big Mom didn't react to Kid's Fruit. Is it weird? Because, well, I don't know. Because they've been around for, like, so long. They probably see some repeat fruits. I guess it's kind of... I don't know what are they supposed to say? Like, you got Captain John's fruit. I don't know. I don't know if it's, like... Because Captain John's fruit's not, like, a super special fruit. Maybe they're going to make a comment. If you want to headcanon something, it's like Kaido's early encounters with Kid already happened off screen, you know? So maybe he said something then. And then with Big Mom, I don't know. Yeah, it would be nice if they made a comment, but I don't know. Beep, thanks for the 5. For the sake of seeing if you're right, what percentage of your theories you think were right versus wrong? Also, those posters 100 times better if no text on them. What, you think? What? What? I don't know about that. I don't know about that. For the sake of seeing if you're right, what percentage of your theories do you think were right versus wrong? Like lifetime? Lifetime. Here's where it would depend, okay? Because it depends how generous you want to be. I think if you're being generous, then maybe like, okay, so for example, right, in recent times, if we were to just look at like recent videos, right? If we look at recent videos, then we've got theory about Rox, Roger, Garp teaming up to attack Emu together, right? That was correct this week, right? We've got a little bit before that, we had Emu will come to God Valley, so that was correct, right? So recent theories are correct. Most theories fall under the category of yet to be determined, right? So most theories are things that are yet to be determined, right? Now, you could be nitty gritty and like, let's say, so I've got a video that's like the complete Cross Guild is about to be assembled. So I have my theory as to who all will join Cross Guild. What if I get one part of it right? So like Moria joins, but then Weevil doesn't join. Is that a correct theory or incorrect theory? If we're saying it's got to be right to a T, then I think like it's a low percentage. It's probably like maybe right to a T, or like generally overall like mostly right. Then it's probably like a third. Well, the majority of theories fall under the category of like yet to be determined. Okay, so that's the majority of theories, right? In terms of proven correct or incorrect, correct or incorrect, probably a third. I think I've been batting pretty good. I think I've been batting close to 50% post Wano. I will say that. I think I've been batting close to 50% post Wano, but Wano alone tanks a lot because Wano, like, I have so many theories that are some iteration of like the beast parts are gonna get back up, like Kaido's gonna get back up, this is gonna happen post raid fail, etc. So like that's where I think Wano tanks a lot of it. If you want to count Egghead onwards, then it's tricky. I would also add that like when I say like how much do you want to like what counts as a correct theory or not. So for example, I said that Vegapunk would turn out to be the villain of Egghead Island. That's a theory, right? York turned out to be like the secret villain of Egghead Island, but I don't think it's quite the same as like I wouldn't feel comfortable saying that like that's a correct theory then, because while it's technically true in some senses, it's not what I was thinking when I made the whole video. I did think that Vegapunk, there is something more sinister going on here, but I wasn't literally like it didn't turn out to be Stella that was evil, right? So it depends. I think there's a lot of theories that would be like a gray area, but then like shortly after that I did a theory which is like, this is a theory that I'm actually annoyed didn't get like traction at all, but it was literally like I predicted from literally the beginning of Wano, or not beginning of Wano, the beginning of Egghead, that Kuma likely allowed himself to be turned into a slave of the world government because the world government basically had Bonnie as leverage over him. I don't know why that theory randomly popped in my head, but like that's an example of a theory that I got like pretty much beat for beat right, like way earlier in the arc than we even got to Kuma's flashback or anything like that. So some theories are pretty like black and white. Then some theories I get some parts of correct, but some parts incorrect. Some theories I might get like mostly incorrect, but some slice incorrect. And then some theories are just like plain incorrect. And then finally there's the bulk majority of theories, which are things yet to be determined. Shoot, where are we at? Michael, oh wait, I missed one. Grizzly Adams, thanks. Wait, did I miss? Oh no, hold on. Missed. Okay, Nyx Queen, thanks for the 2. I summoned the entire chat to yell with me, Dragon. Oh, Dragon was a funny. Oda never fails to include a little bit of comedy, and it's funny to see Kaido being used for comedy here. Kaido, I'd say Kaido in this whole battle, he's like, it's like a judgment-free zone, you know, like, because people couldn't get on characters' cases for like, you know, like you know when Whitebeard was running from Garp and everything, and people were on his case and like, Whitebeard, no scars on his back, yada yada, like, you know, stuff like that. Kaido, this is a safe space for him. This is just like, he's young. He's obviously not at his prime. He's the only character not using Advanced Conqueror's Haki in this battle, right? He's just not even there, right? Anything that he does, it's like cool. It's like, oh man, Kaido's showing up to fight Imu. That's pretty badass of him. Like, that's impressive of him, right? He's just got his Devil Fruit. He doesn't have Haki or any, or like, I'm sure he has Haki, but not Advanced Conqueror's Haki or anything, right? Like, Kaido is just, this is just, he can do no wrong, you know? He can only get points, right? Nothing, he can't have a bad showing. He can't do anything embarrassing here. It's impressive that he's here in the first place, you know? Grizzly Adams, thanks for the 5. Divine Departure has been used as a one-handed slash, one-handed sword draw, and now a two-handed slash. These fools just be saying stuff. The text ruins it. What the fuck? I think a lot of people like the text. Let me ask you guys. First of all, make sure to get the posters, since you guys are so curious about them. Make sure to get yourself some posters. Here we go. Yeah, make sure you get yourself some posters. Because so I should warn you guys. These posters are out of production. We're pulling them from production after this month, because next month we are launching a new line. Okay, so if you want these posters, get them right now. We are not selling them next month. Next month is a new line of posters, new line of artwork. Okay, so if you want the posters, get them now. The buy two get two deal is still going. The buy two get two deal is still going. Yeah. So I pinned the link there for the people. Let's get the stream likes up to 150 real quick. Let's get the stream likes up to 150. Grizzly Adams, what are you referring to? Divine Departure has been used as a one-handed slash, one-handed sword draw, and now two-handed slash. These fools just be saying stuff. Oh, you're saying that the move looks different a lot of different ways? I think it's just with past characters, or like with characters who we're probably not going to see fight that often. I don't think Oda wants to give them a very elaborate move set, you know? Like the Straw Hats, Oda gives them like crazy number of named moves. Like with Sanji, he's got like a different name for like every single kick, and like the kicks are largely similar, you know? Michael John G, but then like characters like Whitebeard, Shanks, Roger, we're not going to get to see fight that often. I think Oda just tries to keep it simple and be like, here's their named attack. Just roll with it. Michael Johnny, thanks for the 5. So Rox is a swordsman. Have you completed your shift you were saying you're going to make? Are you ready to say Mihawk stomps? Yeah, I mean, at the end of God Valley, if this is all we see, then I'm good. I'm not going to say Mihawk stomps, because I don't think Mihawk even thinks that he stomps, right? Like, I'm sure the duels between him and Shanks are close, but we've always known that Mihawk won the sword duels with Shanks, right? The question has always just been, are there other things that Shanks could possibly do that would not be included in a sword duel, right? But if we get to the end of the God Valley battle, and this is all we're really seeing, then yeah, I'd say Mihawk is probably stronger than Shanks. My stance hasn't changed. It's still the same. It's just, let's wait till the end of this fight. Haven, thanks for the 10. Rock said Rat King, not Rat Queen. Emu is a man, confirmed. Yeah, I thought that was kind of... I thought we were all on board with that, right? I guess that there has been an ongoing theory that Emu is a woman, but I just don't think Oda... He's not that type of writer, you know? Also, Yonko not going after One Piece makes sense after failing against Emu. They were waiting for Luffy. No, they were going after the One Piece. Right? Kaido was going after... They were all trying... They all said that they're going after the One Piece. Except for Whitebeard, but that's because Whitebeard literally does not have interest in that. He just wanted to build his family, right? But Kaido and Big Mom, their goal was the One Piece. That's been made clear for a while. Animated Mention, thanks for the 10. If Emu leaves after making Rocks a devil, and I think there was high chances that Emu leaves Elbaf after making Loki devil by giving him authority of the Giants' army. Final fight of this arc will be Luffy versus Loki. Ooh, shit. That would be crazy. That would be crazy. Yeah, I don't know about that. I want to see Loki fight alongside Luffy. Rat King seems like usual TCB nonsense. I don't know. MTS Solo says, so the cope continues? What is... I just want to watch the... I'm just watching with an open mind right now. There's no cope. I'm watching with an open mind. This will answer my question. Is there powerful attacks that someone like Roger can do that don't involve a sword? That's it. If that's not the case, I'm good. I'm done. You know, like I'm on board that Mihawk is stronger than Shanks. Okay, like there's no cope. I'm not even arguing that Shanks is above Mihawk right now. I'm just like, okay, let's see. Let's find out, you know? Bane, thanks for the 5. Zunisha was punished for a crime. Emu likely turned Joy Boy's allies against him. Oh, interesting. Yeah, that's very possible. Also, Emu doesn't seem to have a real body, just a shadow being. Yeah, I think like that is Emu now, right? So the silhouette that we were waiting for to be uncovered isn't really a thing, right? It's just that is the true Emu form. I think that's pretty cool because this is a cool, scary design as is. It does feel like Emu is this like just dark entity. I think that works. I think that works. Benchme976, thanks for the 5. Aren't there copyright issues with selling One Piece merch? Did you have to sign a licensing deal, Morge? Selling fan merch is like the most common, like, how to explain? It's the most widespread thing in the general fandoms, like, imaginable. So if you just go to any anime convention, you will see, like, thousands and thousands and thousands of art, merchandise, etc. being sold by fans. There's not really a problem unless Shueisha themselves send, like, a cease and desist, but they're not interested in doing anything like that. This is an industry that goes far, far, far beyond me. Far beyond me. Like, way bigger than me. Mohammed Kakar, thanks a lot. Morge, what do you think of the theory that Nefertari family can't get reversied because they weren't one of the 20 families to submit to Emu? That's how we might get Vivi involved in the final war. But Rox doesn't submit to Emu. I don't know. I think next chapter, I'm one of the things I'm happiest about is that this chapter we're not getting a break. There's no break week coming up. So I'm happy about that. King AP07 says, Morge, do most of your viewers come from the USA? Yeah, the majority, but surprising. So, no. It's 40-something% last I checked. It's 40-something%, so it's not the majority, it's the largest. My viewer base is pretty diverse, but the US base is the largest slice of the pie. But it's not the majority. Does that make sense? So, like, it's like US 40%, and then everything else is like variations of like 10, 25, etc. %. That is a good thing you reminded me of, because lots of times I can't help it. I do just talk as though all my viewers are US viewers, so I'll talk about like US based stuff. Like even just talking about the NBA or whatever. I just talk from a US perspective. I think that's obviously not good, but it does go to show that like it's just an ingrained American mentality. It's an ingrained American mentality in that, like, Americans do think that the world sort of revolves around their culture to some degree and, like, their stuff. And it's not correct, but it's just so deeply ingrained in our subconscious. It's just the way it is. It's not correct. Carnage, thanks for the 2. I'm pretty sure Nerona Emu will have a true form. I think the original person has a true form, but I don't think that, I think that this is what we will be seeing of Emu as long as Emu is in demon mode or whatever. Anuj Agarwal, good to see you, man. Thanks for me, Yonko Chairman for 37 months, man. What do you think are Dami Reversi's limits? Could you see a Strahd getting Dami Reversi'd and then regaining consciousness? What about, like, Shanks? If I were to say off the top of my head, so it looks like Emu can force, obviously, someone of Rox's level to be Dami Reversi'd, right? I wonder if, because Emu's directing Rox to do something he really doesn't want to do, which is kill his wife and child, right? We've already seen certain things, so keep this in mind, right? Like, a recurring idea in One Piece has kind of been, like, the power of love, power of will, etc. So, what's happening right now with Emu, like, you remember Kuma, right? So, Kuma, consciousness removed, mindless puppet of the world government or whatever, but even still, when it comes down to it, he's able to resist and fight back when it comes to trying to protect his daughter, right? I wouldn't be surprised if we see something similar with Rox. I would love to see Rox being turned on Eris and Emu, or on Eris and Blackbeard, and maybe he gets really, really close to killing them, but he pulls back because something in him tells him that this is wrong. And then we see the willpower breakthrough. I would love to see that. Outside of that, I do believe that Haki is ultimately the counter to Dami Reversi. If Rox can't break through, it's possible that Rox just isn't the peak of Haki, but I believe that someone like Joy Boy cannot be Dami Reversi, personally. Marco Saint, thanks a lot. Morge, please sell digital-only versions of your island and ship posters. I don't know what that means. Digital-only versions. I don't know enough about that stuff to know what that means. Are those what NFTs are? I don't want to sell NFTs, but that's interesting. JP, thanks for the 10. What does Emu even look like to these guys? Is he canonically silhouetted? He might legit be wearing some shroud of sorts that has to be broken to his true appearance. He'll be youthful like Luffy, in my opinion. That's interesting. I do think that Emu essentially has become a shadow, like a shadowy figure. Like, I think that that is his form now. But yeah, maybe it can be broken, and then you see the true self underneath. Beep, thanks for the 5. You think I'd get copyrighted for using One Piece music in videos? Also, text on posters is like Comic Sans on Van Gogh. It just serves no purpose in art. So, if I show you guys really quick, these posters are based off of the old school travel poster idea, right? So kind of, or not travel poster, sorry. The same way the travel posters are based on like actual travel posters as a concept. Hold on. There's like old school nautical posters of ships that basically, I'm trying to pull up some examples. That the idea was that we're trying to replicate. So like, here, if I screen share really quickly, it's working kind of slow. Like, if you look up posters of like the Titanic and stuff, I have no idea why my computer's working really slow at the moment. It's a little frustrating. Come on, man. Okay. Yeah, so like stuff like this is the concept. So this is like a old school poster style that used to be a thing. This is like the concept, the inspiration behind like, wow, well, One Piece has so many ships that are similar, right? One Piece has so many ships, so many crews, right? It's drawing on that as inspiration, kind of recreating that as though like the One Piece world is a real world and like these are the ships in it. But I get what you're saying. I like the posters with this style and with like, you know, the like it feels like a ship travel poster, you know. Bane, thanks for the 2. Which characters alive are immune to Dami Reversi? The only one I confidently say in this moment, without, I think confidently I would say, is Luffy. But then people are floating the idea of like, well, what if Luffy gets Dami Reversi next arc and everything? So like, you never know. You never know. Maybe nobody's safe. Marco Saint, thanks a lot. Not NFTs, bro, lol. I just want digital copies I could print myself on whatever media and size, like PDFs or PNGs. So, like, again, this is not just me. I work with an artist and everything like that. Well, the whole channel, we work with an artist because, like, the channel isn't just me. There's a co-owner who does all of the editing and behind the scenes and business stuff as well. So, we can see about that, but we like selling them as the actual artwork in the posters. 00 Flivans, thanks for the 10. Rock's King of Rats comments reminded me of the Rat King phenomenon where a bunch of rats get stuck together by their tails and a commentary on the 20 Kings. Ah, that's an interesting idea. That is a very interesting idea. Yeah, the audio will be fixed for next stream. Bismuth says, Morge, don't stress over a few opinions. Trust your artists. The sales speak for themselves. Yeah, like the Going Merry was sold out in the first week. So like we had a shit ton of people get the buy two get two bundles. So again, these posters can only be gotten for we're switching lines next month, right? So we have a whole brand new line of posters coming out next month. So if you want these posters, get on them now. Get on them now. Stormy says Loki didn't even notice the audio anymore. Oh, maybe I won't fix it. I'm just kidding. I will fix it. The reason I'm not just restarting the stream is because the audio issue is not due to the stream. It's due to Streamlabs. And I would have to do some, like, I don't know the amount of time it would take troubleshooting to resolve it. To put it simply, okay, here's what usually happens with my audio issues, okay? So this is the mic that I try to use, right? This is the good mic. Now, with the mic, when there's audio issues on stream, there are two ways to resolve it, okay? there's a box that the mic is connected to called a Focusrite, okay? There's a box right here you guys can't see that the mic is connected to. I don't understand the box well. I understand certain things, like if I turn the knob, then that changes like the gain and everything, but I try not to fuck with the box, okay? Now, when the mic is not working, there is a button on that box, the Focusrite, that I call the red button, okay? It's not actually a red button, it's a button that turns on a red light, okay? When the mic is not working, I just go and I press that button once, and then the red light comes back on, and then the mic works again. That is usually the extent of me fixing the mic issue. It's like, the mic's not working, alright? Time to press the magic button that fixes it, okay? When that button is not the issue, then I usually just have to take the mic off, like it's on Streamlabs, so I just remove the mic and then add the mic again. Does that make sense? It's just like, you're just removing an audio source and then adding the audio source back. It's just like basically, I guess, refreshing it, okay? That's my second way of fixing the mic. When neither of those things work, that means that there was a bigger issue that I don't understand that will take me some amount of time and like looking stuff up to fix it. It's always fixable, but that's pretty much it. On the fly, that's all I can do. I'm like, oh, there's a mic issue. I pressed my special mic button. Okay, it's fixed. Okay, if that didn't work, just remove the mic thing, add the mic thing back on the Streamlabs thing. Okay, it's fixed. If both of those things don't work, I just try them again on loop until I just give up. And that's basically what happened here. So, yeah. Miguel says just reset the PC. Yeah, but then I gotta start the whole stream over again, right? And we're trying to avoid doing that. Yeah. Anshuman Acharya, thanks for the 5. Theory, I think Luffy/Nika has a power similar to Emu. Whoever fights with them turns into, while Nika-like. That's why Bonnie was able to become Nika-like. I hope that's not the thing, because, like, I just don't want to see all the Straw Hats powered by Luffy's abilities fighting Emu. I don't know. That doesn't seem fun to me. Personally, I think Bonnie was able to turn into Nika thanks to her own abilities. Factory Cal, thanks for the 10. Hey Morge, after Captain John got beamed, there's a guy in the Rayleigh panel that kind of looks like Eustace Kid. Do you think his dad was at God Valley and took the magma fruit? Oh, the magnet fruit? Did the edible kick in yet? I'm not on an edible. I'm all good. Let's see. I should never have told you guys that story. Let's see the scene. All right, so you think Captain John I don't think Captain John like died right here. Hey, can anybody tell me what the deal is with Shiki? Can someone tell me the deal with Shiki? That's actually a huge question mark that people aren't really talking about as far as I can tell. I don't see a guy that looks like Captain Kidd personally. Yeah, I don't see a Captain Kidd figure. Can anybody tell me what's the deal with the Shiki expression? Is it Shiki basically being like he wants to take all the treasure? I don't know how to interpret that, because it seems like he's shocked or angry or something. There's a guy in the Rayleigh panel. Okay, let me look at that again. Guy in the Rayleigh panel. Oh, yeah, I guess kinda. But taking the magnet fruit, I don't think Captain John dies right there. Marco Sand says, I don't think the price needs to be different so your partners can still be compensated the same way. I just like the digital copies. Definitely talk with your partners and see if it's possible. I will check with them. Man. Thank you. Yeah, what's the deal with Shiki at the end? Let me make a little note. Okay, so Shiki just wants the loot. I guess I didn't fully understand that thing. Hold on. Seems like Shiki didn't realize just how much money was involved. He was more focused on Shaki. I guess my big question is just like, What's the deal with this like Rocks Pirates fighting over the loot storyline? Like, why is Oda taking so much time for it? Why is like a character like Shiki being involved in it? Hmm. Yeah, I'm curious. Curious about the deal with Shiki. Ice Empire, thanks to the 5. What about shrooms though, Morch? I've never done shrooms. Anyways, what if the... I'm scared of doing... I think I'm scared of doing anything that... One, I'm scared of doing anything addictive, right? Like, truly addictive, so like anything like cocaine or anything like that, out of the question for me, okay? Um, Not even once. Never, not even once, okay? Two, anything else like shrooms, LSD, or whatever, acid, like, I am genuinely scared of having a bad trip. I genuinely worry about that. I don't want to have a bad trip. Um, yeah, I don't want to have a bad trip, and I believe that I would have a bad trip because, yeah, I just think I would because, like, how do I explain? No, maybe I wouldn't. I don't know if I would or wouldn't, but in my mind, it's just like I don't want to go through that experience if it's like potentially could be like a really bad trip. Zero Zero Flivans, thanks for the 5. Captain John got so drunk and pulled all of his crew's weapons towards him and inadvertently killed himself, and the mutiny was a cover to save face. I don't think he killed himself. Aether says you would because you're so worried about it. I guess that actually sums it up, which is that I think I would be so concerned about having a bad trip that I would have a bad trip. I just know the way that, like, I think ever since I had that idea planted in my head that you can have a bad trip, because I've heard from 2 different friends that experience, right? So because of that, it's just like, now that that's in my head that that can happen, I'm just like, I don't want to risk that. I don't know. Because I don't feel like I'm missing anything in life by not trying those type of drugs, you know, hallucinogenic drugs. I don't feel like I'm missing anything. I'm fine with just doing weed once in a while. I don't even smoke weed that often. Like I'll smoke it like maybe at night on a weekend. I don't even smoke during the week. Well, actually, in general, I had quit smoking weed. Period, and I've only been smoking Delta 8 for about the last year and a half. Then I think maybe the last 2-3 years actually. I think it'd been a long time since I'd smoked weed. Okay, outside of like occasionally at a social thing. All right, with a friend. But in general, I would do only Delta 8. Then I stopped even doing Delta 8 on outside of like on the weekends or whatever. I stopped even doing it to help me sleep. Um, and then what happened is I ran out of Delta 8. So I ran out of my supply of Delta 8 and then I haven't gone back to buy anymore. So then all I had is like an old supply of weed. So then recently I've been smoking, recently on weekends, if I need help sleeping, then I'll smoke some weed. Um, Sundays I do smoke weed in the daytime as well. But that's pretty much it. So, and then once I run out of that, then I'll probably go and buy Delta 8 again. That's all. Delta 8 is sketchy, you're going to have a heart attack? I don't believe that. I don't believe that. Bane, thanks for the 2. Rox is Loki going out sad as a character, not going to lie. I mean, it does seem like he's going to have a tragic end, and we kind of always knew that, but I don't think that this is... I think we're going to get a little bit more out of his story. I don't think this was just the finale to everything. Is that like Fent? No. Delta 8 is the opposite. It's like so much more... It's literally a milder version of weed. Chris Morales is Morge. Vincent Chanzard has been on a bunch of channels lately. Would you have him on a stream or something? I'm not a big viewer of the anime. You know, I'm not a big viewer of the anime, and I've been so vocally against the anime for so many things in the past that, like, I feel like it would almost come across, in my mind, I think, as, like, a little bit fake if I'm, like not him, me. I would feel like a little bit fake bringing on, an animator from Toei after I've said so many negative things about the anime, right? I've never criticized his work. His work has obviously always been great. but in general, you guys know I'm not the biggest fan of the anime. And I don't watch the anime that much, right? So it's not like I don't want to be insincere, being like, I mean, I guess I could bring him on and be honest. Like, I fucking think the One Piece anime generally is bad. I think Egghead has mostly fixed it. I think your work is great, but I also don't really follow the anime that much outside of like episodes here and there. Like, I think there are plenty of better people to, like, if people want to hear Vincent Chansard speak, I think there's plenty of better people who actually engage with the anime, who are more suited to give him a good interview or whatever than me. Um, I do have lots of questions, genuine questions though, that I could ask him about like the animation process and like what goes on behind the scenes. Why does Toei take the route that it does? I mean, we all kind of know, which is like to stretch things and money. I do have questions about the production process and everything like that. So that would be fun to get answered, I suppose. But yeah. Factory Cow, thanks for the 5. Highlight of the chapter, everyone naming attacks. Kaido just says dragon because he didn't get to come up with anything after just getting his fruit. Yeah. Yeah. That was definitely... I'm very much enjoying Kaido throughout this flashback, for sure. Collab with Jay, that would be funny. I don't actually know Jay's opinions on the anime. I have to ask him. Wrench Dodger 2000 says, I mean, I'm sure Vincent is just a One Piece fan in general. Being a non-anime watcher would make a genuinely interesting stream, though. Would it, though? Because I'd just be like, what did you do last, or something like that. I think I've seen most of his, is there anything, did he do Law versus Blackbeard? Did he do Zoro versus S-Hawk? I know I've seen recent things that he's done. He's done some important shit lately, right? Did he do the Gorsei introduction? I think he did the Gorsei introduction. I thought that was amazing. Ice Step presses Morge, you should go. You got so high on streams you forgot to read the main part of my super chat. Oh shit, I'm sorry, Ben. Iced Empire says, oh, anyways, what if Rat King is an immortalized amalgamation of the shadows of the 19 kings? Ope Ope plus Kage Kage no Mi? I don't think so, man, because like because the 20 kings seem like real people that then had descendants, like the Celestial Dragons, right? So like their parents must have still been around. Empty Mind, thanks for the 2. Why did Rox attack Emu if he confronted Emu before? Why did Rox attack Emu if he confronted Emu before? What does that mean? You're saying like before Rox confronted Emu but didn't attack him, but then this time Rox did attack him? I think because this time it's just like Rox has kind of come to accept that this'll... He even says it, I think, before going into this battle. I think he's talking about how this could be the end and everything, if you look at his conversation with Harold. Yeah, he even says that, like, this could be the end. I think Rox kind of approaches this whole thing with, like, this might just be my final stand. So, like, he just, like, when Rox confronted Emu the first time, Rox was basically just like, that was just like, I'm coming for you. And then after that, Rox's plan became, I need to go get my special devil fruit. I need to get the other devil fruit. I need 2 devil fruits, probably like Harold on my side or whatever. I need Galila company. And once we got all that shit together, then I can go like beat Emu up, right? He doesn't get to bring any of that together, right? Not because like he even is incompetent or fails or anything. It's just that he begins to put other things before that, like his wife, family, yada yada, right? So Rox, what he finds himself in is his rematch with Emu, but it's premature. It's not how Rox envisioned it. Rox was going to get himself geared up and then fight Emu, but now he's in it against Emu, and he doesn't have his fruit. He doesn't have Harold with his fruit on his side. He doesn't have whatever the fuck you want to do with Galila. It's not the ideal situation, but Rox has already come to accept going into God Valley that he might just die here, right? So before, Rox didn't fight Emu because he knew that he'd have a better shot fighting Emu later, right? Here, Rox just welcomes the fight with Emu because he's like, well, I didn't get to set things up the way that I wanted to set things up, so I guess we're going to duke it out anyway, and I'll just have to try and win with my own ability, you know? Elijah Petty, thanks for the 2. The world is not complete. That was a nice reveal. Yeah, I'm liking Emu as a villain more and more with the sort of... It feels very... Like his language feels like it carries a lot of weight, and Oda's not trying to downplay him as like a force or like a menace in this sort of like very otherworldly type of figure. Zachoy Duncan, thanks for the 2. Address Hawkeyes. I talked about this earlier in stream. Like, I'm still reading with an open mind. Same stance has not changed. I'm gonna read the rest of the God Valley flashback, right? The way the fight plays out at God Valley. And if the only thing that Rox and Roger, really Roger is who I'm looking at more, if the only thing Roger does by the end of this flashback is like use sword swings coated with Haki, right? Basically use sword attacks with Haki, then I would put Mihawk over Shanks. So that's it. There's nothing to address because there's nothing new here. We just gotta wait and see the rest of the God Valley flashback. But look, I'm on board. If Roger's just, by the end of this, Roger's just using sword swings coated with Haki, right? Just Haki coated sword slashes. Then I'm there. I'm like, okay, it looks to me like that's the peak of Roger's fighting, probably the peak of Shanks' fighting style. Therefore, Mihawk should beat them. Well, not them, but Mihawk should beat Shanks, right? Marco Saint, thanks a lot. A Rat King is a rare phenomenon where the tail of multiple rats becomes intertwined together, so I can definitely see Emu being an amalgamation of multiple characters. That is a really interesting idea, so that's beginning to grow on me the more that you guys talk about it. I guess my only thought is, like, it could also just be referring to Emu being the king of the Celestial Dragons, right? So Rox is referring to them all as one group, being represented by Emu. So that's just the other angle of it. I'll see the Viz translation. Babe, is it okay? Oh, I think maybe food arrived or something. Okay. I'm probably gonna call chapter, or not call the stream pretty soon. Oh man, what the hell? It's 7:43? Yeah, I'm calling stream shortly. This went way longer than expected. The Rat King is accurate? Alright, good to know. Alright, everybody! Alright, thank you all for coming through. I apologize again for the way the stream cut, and then I apologize for the 10 Void Sentry minutes where it was muted, and I did not realize it was muted. Apologize for all that. I hope you guys were still able to enjoy the stream in general. Watch out for the chapter review tomorrow, and then definitely watch out for next Tuesday's video where I kind of paint out how I think the rest of the God Valley battle is going to play out. Lil Emu says, Aristitar backwards is Rat Desire, Rat King lol. I don't know if that's... I don't know if we're reading too much of the things there, but that's an interesting little idea. Maybe that's true. Maybe that's true. All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. And with that, I will talk to you all.